What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Guys, I just came back from St. Petersburg and I was shocked. I was shocked by the prices of things in that city. That city, long story short, is very expensive. So in today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys how much I spent living in St. Petersburg. I spent about 4 days there, and I'm just going to break down some of the most expensive things I spent money on so that you're going to have an idea of how much you're going to spend if you're going to be going to St. Petersburg, so that you don't get shocked when you get there. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So first things first, I'm going to talk about the accommodation. So guys, if you're ever going to travel to Russia and you want to save some money, my recommendation for you is to not book a hotel, because guys, the hotel prices in Russia are very expensive. But I mean, if you're a baller, if you have the money to spend, then by all means you're welcome to book a hotel. But for those that want to save money and spend more on experiences, then the Airbnb option is the way to go. So the website we use here in Russia is Avito, and the accommodation I booked for this vacation was for 4 nights. I spent 12,000 rubles. I don't know how much this price is in dollars, but I'm going to put it up on the screen, of course. And what I noticed in St. Petersburg is that you can get apartments much more cheaper than in Moscow. The kind of apartment I rented in St. Petersburg, if you're going to rent that same type in Moscow, you're going to be looking at least 20,000 rubles for 4 nights. This was the second time I was actually going to St. Petersburg. The first time I went was actually 2 years ago, and going now, I was like, oh my god, the prices of everything. Let me put into perspective, or let me just give you guys the actual breakdown. So in my city, we pay 27 rubles for the bus. So if you're going anywhere, you're going to pay 27 rubles. Guys, I got to Moscow and guess how much the bus prices were? 86 rubles, and then the metro cost 80 rubles. That was actually very crazy. Visiting St. Petersburg as a cultural capital of Russia, we obviously planned to go to visit some of the palaces and some of the cultural historical artifacts or historical museums. Guys, we went to the Hermitage. To go and see the Hermitage and to explore the Hermitage cost 500 rubles for the entrance ticket. In my opinion, that's actually very affordable to go and visit the Hermitage. It's just that I'm not a history guy, so after exploring the Hermitage, there was nothing too much to like talk about, or like this is that. I was just blown away by the amount of history that was in that museum. Other than that, there was not really much content I could make from the Hermitage Museum, except for just filming the very interesting looking things. But yeah, admission to the Hermitage cost 500 rubles. Now the next thing is the food, guys. St. Petersburg is crazy. So my girlfriend and I went to grab lunch at Carl's Jr. and we saw that they were selling very good looking burgers. It looked very aesthetic, looked very good. What if also buy just burger and fries, and guess how much this cost? I know some of you might be like, okay, it's not expensive, but guys, I live in Russia and I know how much burger and chips are meant to cost. This place doesn't look like a restaurant. I mean, it looks nice, but it doesn't look like a restaurant that should be charging the amount of money they charged. I ended up paying about 1,190 rubles, or there about 4 burger and chips and coke. Guys, that was so crazy. Guys, I didn't even mention to you guys, before all this time, when we arrived at the train station in St. Petersburg, the taxi from the train station to the accommodation cost 978 rubles. Guys, this whole city is just expensive. Like, you're not going to spend anything less than 500 rubles. Everything is just 900, 1,000, 900, 1,000. When we got to St. Petersburg, right, we wanted to like say, okay, we're going to save money and buy food to cook instead of having to just buy every day, because on the first day, guys, we bought chicken cutlet. Oh my god, guys, a lot happened in St. Petersburg. I'm not going to lie to you guys. So on the first day, right, we arrived, very hungry. We were like, okay, let's go explore the city and see what they have in the city for us that we can buy. We went to one of these normal looking store where they sell like fast food, and we just bought chicken cutlets and some other things like that. Guys, we didn't order any drink, we didn't order any water, and it cost us 800 rubles. Guys, this was the first shock of my life. I'm like, this ain't, if I'm going to buy it in course, it's not going to be more than 500 rubles, and here I'm spending 800 rubles for just chicken cutlets. It was so crazy. Anyways, after that day one, we're like, okay, if you're going to keep on spending money like you just are buying random food, then it's not going to be very interesting. So we were like, we're going to buy food to cook. Guys, guess what happened? I'm just going to say that we're the biggest clowns, because after buying all the food to cook, we didn't cook anything. We just ended up buying food outside and eating outside, which was like, why did you even buy food to cook in the first place? Because we didn't end up cooking anything. So guys, now to the main event of the St. Petersburg trip. We wanted to go boat riding. So while we were planning for our trip, right, we saw that there was a boat ride that takes you to Peterhof. If you don't know what Peterhof is like, the Peterhof Palace is just like one of these very popular places here in St. Petersburg. So we wanted to go and explore Peterhof. When we were going to buy the boat tickets to go to Peterhof, we were like, okay, we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. The boat ticket to Peterhof cost 1,300 rubles for 1 person. So I paid 1,300 times 2. So we boarded the boat. So we were so excited, like, oh my god, that we're going to go see the Peterhof. We're going to see the boat, because I'm not going to lie to you, the boat trip was so beautiful. After getting to Peterhof, these guys did not tell us that we have to buy a ticket back home. We were thinking that when you pay for the boat ticket going, you can always come back with the same boat that you used to go. But guys, if you're going to St. Petersburg, please get ready for this, because they didn't mention this. They just acted like, oh, okay, pay for the ticket. So when you now get to Peterhof, they're just going to dump you there. So you just have no choice than to pay a return ticket back. Imagine if you don't have the money to pay for a ticket back to the city. That would have been crazy. Anyways, that's not where the story gets juicy. On getting to Peterhof, right, so my girlfriend and I were going. So mind you, we are Africans, so we look different from Russians, obviously. So we were going to go buy the tickets, right? On the security place for buying the tickets, the security place for buying the tickets was a security guy guy there. I wanted my girlfriend and I to just go into buy the tickets and go back home. I saw that Russian people that came to buy tickets are also going to explore the Peterhof. I was not like, so if Russians can go and explore the Peterhof, let me call my girlfriend, let's go and explore the Peterhof, because guys, mind you, the security guy did not allow me and my girlfriend to go into the Peterhof place. I don't know how to put into perspective. So how this place is like, there's a security booth. So to go into and buy the tickets, you have to pass through the security booth and go and buy the tickets on this side. So my girlfriend, the security guy did not allow to pass through the booth. He only allowed me to pass. So obviously he saw that we are both Africans, so he was like, okay, it's not good. Like he knew what he was doing. I asked some Russians that I saw that, is he allowed to go and explore the Peterhof? They said yeah. So I went back to go and get my girlfriend. As I went back to the security booth, the guy there was like, no, that so me and my girlfriend cannot go. That only one of us has to go. That if I want me and her to go, I have to drop something. So he made me drop my camera. So I dropped my camera and he told her to drop something and she dropped her ID card. Guys, we got into the place. So we stood there for like 5 minutes thinking of which of the boats to buy. This security guy never came out though. While we were waiting for the next boat to come, we went to go and explore Peterhof, to go explore fast and come back and buy the tickets. So we went to Peterhof, we took all the pictures, we made some content in Peterhof. On our way back, we came back, we bought our tickets. The return ticket back to the city cost 3,000 rubles. Guys, that is 1,300 rubles times 2 plus another 3,000 that we did not plan to spend. Guys, that was this trip. Anyways, so after paying 3,000 rubles and 2,600 rubles for this going and coming back, we went to the security booth and the guy now told us that he's not going to give us a camera, that we went into the Peterhof. I was like, oh my god, what have we done? What have we done? Then he now told us that we should pay a fine, that if we don't pay the fine, he's going to go and call the police, that he came and looked for us. I'm like, Jesus Christ, oh god, what kind of guy is this? What kind of temptation is this? This guy made us pay a 2,000 rubles fine. It was so crazy, guys. That day in particular, like, I was just looking for reasons to be happy, because if you look at that vlog, you'll see that same day we actually got the best shots for the entire vlog. While we were on the boat, you can see the view, the clouds, everything was looking so beautiful. So that was what I used to compensate myself, like, oh my, okay, and even if I spend this amount of money, I still got the good content. But guys, it wasn't funny at all. Anyways, we paid the fine. That day was the day we spent the most money, because after getting back to the city, we bought dinner. After buying dinner, guys, we went back home. So that day was the day packed with a lot of activities. We plan to go see the opening drawbridges. If you've never been to Saint Petersburg before, the opening drawbridges open at night. So obviously we had to plan our movement at night. The taxi from the accommodation to the center of the city cost 1,729 rubles. Guys, taxi 1,729. I was like, oh my god, St. Petersburg is just after my life right now. In Russia, once you just spend 1,000 this, 2,000 this, it just adds up. Before you know, you'll spend up to 15,000, 20,000 in one day. It was just so crazy. As soon as we got there, all the bridges were already open. I was like, oh my god, what is happening today? We got some shots from that day. My girlfriend could not get the bridge opening itself because it was actually our first time in St. Petersburg. So we decided to go and buy corn. So immediately we just turned back. We bought the corn and we turned back forward. The bridge is closed back. Oh my god, can today just get any worse? So it was like everything was almost like against us on that particular day, and it was just so annoying. I was like, you know what, I just want to go home. I'm not interested in this whole trip again, because everything was just going. Anyways, I don't want this video to be too long. I'm just here to break down how much it costs to live in St. Petersburg. I hope you guys have been putting it in your mind. Everything in St. Petersburg is expensive. I forgot to mention this. If you want to go visit the Peterhof in St. Petersburg, entrance for foreigners is 2,000 rubles. So if you're a foreigner without a Russian passport, you're going to pay 2,000 rubles if you don't have a passport of the Russian Federation, and 1,000 rubles if you have the passport of the Russian Federation. St. Petersburg is expensive. Everywhere we're going, I was like, oh my god, can this place, like, I was like, I just want to get out of here. After that day, we tried to go see the opening drawbridges. I didn't even mention, guys. So after paying the 1,700 rubles to go see the bridges, guys, the taxi back home cost another 1,000 rubles plus. Everything was just 1,000 rubles. I was like, what is happening here? Anyways, my point is, if you're going to St. Petersburg, or if you plan to go to St. Petersburg, I want you to have it in mind that you're going to spend a lot of money, especially if you want to have a lot of good experiences. In Moscow, it's not like this, because in Moscow, you don't really have to spend money, because I'm looking back to my trip to Moscow. You don't really have to spend so much money to have a very, very good time. Of course, you will have to spend here and there to explore some things, but compared to St. Petersburg, you're not going to spend the amount of money, like, it was just so crazy. I've broken down how much I spent on accommodation, on transportation, and on most of the things that we did in our vlog, for you guys to have a glimpse of how much you spend in St. Petersburg, and also the story time on what happened when we tried to go see the Peterhof. Guys, it was a very crazy experience in St. Petersburg, but all in that, I enjoyed my trip in St. Petersburg. And if you did not know, guys, the vlog is already live on the channel, so if you haven't seen that yet, you can go click on it to watch and see the full vlog of how everything went. And that's it for this video, guys. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Hit the subscribe button, smash the like button, turn on your post notifications, and I'll see you guys later.